I'm Mark from Paramount Property Services down here in sunny South Florida. I got a call from a customer telling me that her water bill is just excessively high this month. She asked me to come by and explain to her how her sprinkler timer is to be operated. So check out this video. Make sure you like and make sure you subscribe. That's very important to me, if you could subscribe. Alright, so this is a pretty typical irrigation system down here in South Florida. First comes first is you have your main water shut off. This here is coming from the main water supply to the building. Allows you to shut the water off to your entire irrigation system. This is what's called a gate valve. I don't like these because they get stuck. They get stuck open, they get stuck closed. But a gate valve, if you ever need to shut your sprinklers off, if there's a problem, you just turn it clockwise until it stops going, and then your water is shut off. But if you ever get the opportunity to replace those, the quarter turn ball valves are definitely a lot more reliable. Working your way up from there, you have your main valve. This is the kind of main valve which has a vacuum breaker, so it allows you for some minimal backflow protection. This is code, keeps you from contaminating your drinking water in your house from the dirty water that's in your irrigation pipes. This can be controlled manually if you want to turn on and off your sprinklers. Come over here, and all these different brands are a little different, but basically on the top you have a solenoid and you have an on and off lever here on the solenoid. It's very simple. You just turn it here like this, pretty much all the way, and that you know, across the yard there, that's running the sprinklers. You can use that to test something out or to water manually, for example, if your timer is not working. So let's go ahead and turn that off. Now from there, if you follow this down, you hear it make a noise in a second as it cuts off. Sometimes it also flows some water out. That's normal as it shuts off. So from here, you go down the line, and in this particular house, all these builders use these, I call them a multi-zone indexing valve. It's a multi-zone valve because it's one valve with multiple zones. And this one I can count 6. Each one of these zones goes to a different part of the yard. And it's an indexing valve essentially because on the inside, it sort of works like a clock, whereas it will go click to the next zone and so on. I don't like these. I think given an opportunity to cut this out and replace them with individual valves gives you a lot more control over your system. Working your way up from there, you have your, people call it a timer, or your clock. Nowadays, 2018, you know, most of them are actually controllers. There's no clock to it. This is pretty standard here. This is Intermatic. It says it's model number T8845, but you know, pretty much all these Intermatics are going to work the same way. First and foremost is checking the current time. This screw here, it says roll, I'll show you up and close. Do not unscrew. Well, it says that because, well, guess what? You don't unscrew it. That right there is pointing out the time of the day. So right now it's 6 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and turn this. We're setting the time. Okay, right there, 6 o'clock, perfect. Next thing we're going to show you is the days of the week. This clock, if you will, is set to water. Sort of hard to see from this angle, so I'll show you that you have these pins here. Okay, every pin that's pushed in is a day that it's not watering. Every pin that's pulled out is a day that it is watering. Now they say on those pins, you know, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, but to be honest with you, I'd say just use those pins for the purposes of deciding, you know, how many days apart you want your watering. So if you want to water, let me give you an example. If you want to water, well, that's pushing them all in, you're not watering at all. So if you want to water twice a week, I'm going to pull out a pin. I'm going to skip, you know, 3 or 4, and then I'm going to go around here, skip 3 or 4, and so there you go. It's a 2-week. You know, it's a 2-week selection. I pulled out 4 pins, so that's about twice a week. It's not perfect. That's how you do it. Next thing, you have all these little. You have this pin here. This is the pin that advances the day. So again, since you're not watering every single day, this pin, as the clock goes around and around, this pin clicks and makes this day here advance. Okay, so I've seen a lot of these units where people inadvertently will go and they lose this pin. They take it out. They don't know what it's for. So if your unit doesn't have this pin, it will never advance to the day, and it'll repeat the same day forever. Now you have your watering, these pins here are for the watering time. So in this particular case, again, she has 6 zones. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sets of pins. Each pin is going to water your lawn for 12 minutes. So this is a 24-minute per zone schedule, which is too much. That's why I'm here. Now, you have to have a space here in between each zone to give this multi-zone valve a chance to cut the water to this indexing valve, so that the indexing valve advances to the next day. If you make the mistake of not leaving these spaces, then guess what? You're simply gonna water one zone for the whole day. So to add time, again, 12 minutes per pin here. To add time, you add more pins. To take off time, you pull some pins out. Now, usually having a pliers for this would be helpful, but just for example, I got my keys in my hand, so I'm going to go ahead and, pop out some pins. And clearly there's way too many in here, so what I'm going to do is take out all these. To tell you the truth, I'm going to pause this while I take out all the pins. All right, so I paused it for a moment there while I took out all the pins, and I'm going to go ahead and just start inserting some pins. I like to start the watering here, and again, this is South Florida, right? I'm going to start the watering here at 4 o'clock a.m. So I've just added 1 pin, and that's 12 minutes. I'm going to skip a space, another pin, that's zone 2, 12 minutes, zone 3, zone 4, zone 5, zone 6. Let me count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so 6 pins. That's enough for all 6 of her zones, 12 minutes at a time, every time this unit clicks on. Now, again, she's called me complaining that she's using too much water, so what we're going to do is I'm going to attempt to pull this out. I'm going to do watering on one day, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on. So this is going to give her about 3 waters every 2 weeks, and we'll see how that goes. It has to be seasonally adjusted. Now, if you were to get into a smart controller like the Rossio, which is my favorite, by the way, or any of the other smart controllers on the market, understand that it's going to do a lot more than just follow what you set. These smart controllers are going to be following weather forecasting. The Rossio, for example, will follow what they call hyperlocal weather forecasting. So if it's expecting rain, in your neighborhood, for example, in the next day or so, it will skip. If it just got rain down the street in your neighborhood, it will skip. And these smart controllers, believe it or not, they pay for themselves in a matter of even a year sometimes. Okay, last thing is the on and off. So right now the unit's set in the off position. If we wanted to turn it to automatic, which again allows the controller to follow what we've just set, we flip this up. And again, I'll show you close. Up is auto, okay? Middle is off. Now if we want to turn it on temporarily, let's just say we are testing something out and we want to control it with the clock versus controlling it with the solenoid, we would go here and click this down. And you just heard it click on, and so it's working. Now, again, back to auto. Now, there's ways to test this, but the most simple way to know that you have operation of your clock, again, literally it will turn like a clock, is, you can check the time. And you can tell, I got it the wrong time here. You can see the time, and based upon what you've set it for, you can come back in half an hour and you'll see that the time's changed. Just like a clock. Time hasn't changed. Guess what? You need a new controller. Now, underneath this flap here, which usually will say, caution, risk of electrical shock, believe it or not, you have some live electrical wires. Every once in a while, right over there on those 2 screws, every once in a while you'll see something like a lizard or a frog get in there. And And if you make the mistake of shoving your screwdriver or your pliers in there or your fingers, guess what? You're going to get shocked just like those critters. So again, we got the day set, we got the time on each zone set, we got the time set, we got the day advance set, we got it set to auto. We're going to close it up, and that's it.